endlessly searching for an original sin.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Bright Paw. Our next skin for today's episode is white socks. Cats like this develop inside missing socks and grow out from there. So that's the one we're going to equip. Isn't he the cutest little thing? Alright, let's continue. Let's go to level of select. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. There we go. Oops, no thanks. Thank you.
Someone had clearly been rifling through the deliveries recently, though they didn't seem to have found what they were looking for.
Patrol Bot Blueprint. A technical specification for a Bright Paw Industries security robot. Surprisingly simple. Ransacked Crates. A collection of crates turned over in a desperate search. Box of empty vials. A box torn open and abandoned, leaving the vials within untouched. What could these be for? Why does it have an umbrella symbol on it?
Obviously, the killer had been looting the facility, and it was unlikely that they planned to use volatile weaponry to spread peace and joy. Being a conscientious cat, Theo knew it fell to him to put a stop to the killer's nefarious activities.
Theo is a good kitty.
Finding himself inside a warehouse, the towering stacks of crates gave Theo some measure of hope. Perhaps the killer would try to search the top of an unstable pile and fall to their doom.
Perhaps. Hefty weapons case. Sadly, none of these weapons of destruction appear to be built with Paw Industries with paws in mind. The world can be a very unfair place. Sea mine crate. Something built to sink ships will have no trouble with an overconfident cat. Not for prodding. Let's see if we can find the last one in here. He's just kind of chillaxing there. They have a faint glow to them. I don't see it.
Lost in daydreams of the killer being buried alive, Theo stepped blindly forwards onto a conveyor belt, promptly shuffling him away from his happy thoughts.
Could that last one be hiding? Is it you, Mr. Robot? No, it's not you, I'm afraid. There's nothing over here either.
Perhaps it was unlikely that the killer would be ended by fallen cargo, but the belts leading into the dark and deadly machinery seemed to promise an untimely demise. Spotting a bundle under some nearby crates, it appeared Theo's wishes had been heard. However, he tempered his excitement until he could get a closer look.
Looted explosive boxes, a tipped-over crate that should be filled with explosives, but it's worryingly empty. I saw another glow. Completely average box. Oh, an empty crate. Very interesting. Close to the definition of scraping the bottom of the barrel. I don't know what that glowy thing is.
Theo tempered his excitement. He didn't lose it.
Let me click around you, ungrateful little sod. Let's see. Gotta bring it out a little bit more, which I keep forgetting to do.
Stepping over a broken belt with great care, he was disappointed to discover not a body, but simply several empty crates bearing the label High Explosive. The empty crates led Theo to conclude 3 things. The killer had found what they were looking for, they were definitely up to something, and Theo's work was not yet done. He moved on with the hope that the killer's loot would be enough to slow them down.
There we go. Unfortunately, I'm missing a couple of objects, but that's okay.
Theo pondered the erratic crusade of the robots as they fired at non-existent threats. Perhaps the killer had just passed through?
Laserbot. There's something simply wonderful about lasers. Efficiency, destructive, deadly. You know where you are with lasers. Algae container. A specially designed crate used to safely house ominous algae.
The belt, unable to tell the difference between a cat and a crate, and lacking the desire to learn, moved him once again as it would any other box.
Mysterious drawing. Lines carefully etched into the concrete that vaguely resembles a cat. The determination of the artist excuses their lack of attention to detail.
As he headed for the door, Theo couldn't shake the feeling that the strange blue algae was creeping steadily across the wall behind him. Oh well, it was probably harmless.
Hopefully. We don't want to see anything happen to our kitty.
Whoever Theo was following had certainly spooked these poor robots who were all consumed by blind panic.
Can a robot be consumed by blind panic? Big algae container. This crate was developed to hold large amounts of glowing algae. Also functions well as a mood light. Odd cipher. A bizarre series of patterns with no clear meaning. Perhaps some kind of code? So I do know what I missed in the other room, so I might just do that offline. Like off recording, I mean, so I can show you guys the next skin. Let's bring it out a little bit. I think that's all 3 items. So I want to go...
As he carefully padded forwards, avoiding lasers, Theo noticed the most curious drawing etched into the wall. But why would a killer stop to doodle?
That would have been perfect.
Theo couldn't stop thinking about the bizarre graffiti he kept seeing. It was unlikely the killer was taking the time for artistic creativity. Was someone else in the facility?
No? Darn it, I'm bad at this level. Alright, let's start at the very beginning. Come on. Why aren't you moving? Oh, because of that. Okay, fair enough. It's going to have to be our first one. Theo. Alright, let's try this again.
Whoever Theo was following had certainly spooked these poor robots who were all consumed by blind panic.
I wonder if I could just hide behind one of the robots.
As he carefully padded forwards, avoiding lasers, Theo noticed the most curious drawing etched into the wall. But why would a killer stop to doodle? Theo couldn't stop thinking about the bizarre graffiti he kept seeing. It was unlikely the killer was taking the time for artistic creativity. Was someone else in the facility?
Got it. I'm not gonna cut up my mess-ups. You guys can enjoy them.
As he stepped into the room, Theo found his racing mind halted by yet another drawing of a slightly more significant scale.
Abstract mural. A series of rigid geometric lines that seem to be taking the form of a figure. Who could it be? Gun rack. A rack of very lethal and very illegal firearms. Bestseller.
Theo tried his best to examine the etching, but found it devoid of artistic value.
Oof. There's a little one. Can I click it? Nope.
A for effort, he supposed. As he began to move away, Theo couldn't help but wonder who would put so much effort into these acts of vandalism. Was it maybe some kind of poorly drawn calling card? Perhaps, he thought as he carried on, the murderer was simply an awful artist. Whatever it was, the mural failed to hold Theo's interest long enough for any meaning to be gleaned.
Well, I mean, there's another mural, but I can't quite click it. There we go. Good, Theo.
According to the booming sounds of heavy industry and the massive shipping containers, Theo had found himself in some kind of loading station.
Let's see what we can click on. Cargo container. A very large shipping container. Most notable for its size and not for the expensive hardware concealed within. Any more artwork for us to look at? Obvious tie. A bright red necktie deliberately knotted around the railing like a flag. It almost feels too obvious. Is there no drawings in here? No? I'm gonna have to go through to look for all the secrets. Getting sneaky with your secrets, aren't you, game?
Theo's eye was caught by something colourful and clearly out of place hanging from a rail across the room. A discarded tie. Was this some kind of taunt? It was becoming clear to Theo that the large boxes wouldn't just wait for him to cross, so he quickened his pace towards the infuriating clue. Clearly the killer had left this tie to send a message, but in doing so they had left a trail for Theo to follow. Perhaps he'd get the better of them yet.
Good job, Theo. We knew you could do it.
Though he was intrigued by the surprisingly expressive train waiting before him, on the other side of the tracks a curious hole in the wall drew his eye. Perhaps the killer had made their own exit.
Covered crate. What does it hold? Jewelries, acorns, the gateway to another world? Sadly, due to your indifference, we'll never know. Train robot. A zero-emission, semi-sentient train fueled only by its self-hatred over public transport. You know what? I like the train. I want to become buddies with the train. Anyone who's taken transport knows. Can't click anything else in here.
Stepping onto the train, Theo glanced towards his goal and noticed a strangely carefree-looking robot bumbling around near a control panel. Hopefully this one wasn't a threat.
Oh, it's cute. Oh, it's dumb.
The train began to quake, and Theo couldn't react fast enough to leap off. He had better find something to hold on to.
No, Leo!
Theo was quite unprepared for the sudden velocity and found his current predicament extremely upsetting. Luckily, he just needed to hold on until the train looped back to the station.
Safety-conscious robot. A small robot giving it their all in the name of fire suppression. Let's see. Look at that one. Nope, that's just gonna take us back. We need to go back. There we go.
Theo was quite unprepared for the sudden velocity.
I imagine he would be. Oh my goodness. There we go. Uh-oh. That's not gonna work. That's gonna be very bad for poor little Theo. No? Maybe we just go straight?
As the hatch broke free and rocketed past him, Theo pressed himself against the train and vowed to dedicate the rest of the ride to keeping his eyes open for low-flying objects of feline destruction.
How am I supposed to do this? Can I do quick? Yes, go! Go, Theo, go! You can do it, little buddy. Don't have a weight sign, so let's go back.
Theo might have found some comfort knowing he wasn't the only one caught unaware by the sudden departure. But it was all he could do to just keep his paws on the ground.
All right. So I think Theo's gonna hate trains for the rest of his kitty cat life, which is okay. Nico actually doesn't like elevators. We got this, Theo. We will protect you with all of our life. You are the cutest. God, I wish I had. That was the only one I could really do. It's gonna get me killed. Oh no, it's not. Fair enough. We need to go this way. Flaming bot. It's hard to tell if this robot can feel pain. Does it even know it's on fire? Poor thing. We're gonna have to avoid him. I don't think he's gonna want to be friends with us. Looks like he might burn our poor kitty.
Theo tried not to let the burning robot distract him from his efforts to survive! In the distance, Theo could just about spot the station! Approaching at a rapid pace! He just hoped to hold on a little longer!
We did it! We did it, guys! We got him!
Theo staggered off the train quickly, driven by his newfound appreciation for solid ground and the terrible fear that it might suddenly set off again.
Train control panel. A complex panel that had clearly been tampered with. Oh, we know!
Just ahead of him, he could see that bloody robot that had sent the train off in the first place.
Looks like there's something there I could have collected. I might have to try to do it in the next, I'm gonna find that robot and I'm gonna destroy it. I'm just saying. And then we'll start Act 4. Help. Let's go ahead and look at the opening little dialogue, and then I'll see you guys next time.
Theo eyed his new surroundings curiously, noting the piles of unused tiles and pipes. Across what little floor existed, there was a sharp drop, from which a blinding light and tremendous heat emanated. Besides this abyss sat... that bloody robot.
Alright guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye.